So, but. Really.
Do you want something?
No, it's just like the brightness.
Yes. Oh, I might have sunglasses.
No.
I might have sunglasses.
Brian is,
So,
Will Perry down the line?
No, he's not joining us.
So John is.
Yep, John and Paige are with us. So we have a quorum
We
and
have
we're,
a form.
we're ready to start the meeting.
Okay. Ready to go?
Yep.
Okay. Welcome to the February 2026 meeting of the Business Affairs and Licensing Committee. My name is Anton Melner and I am the chair of this committee. Tonight we are joined by Committee Coordinator Brian Lafferty. This meeting is called to order at 6:37 p.m. As a reminder, New York State law requires all committee members who are not able to attend the meeting in person to have their cameras on and their first and last names displayed from the time the meeting is called to order until the time the meeting is adjourned. Members of the public who are here attending virtually, you can raise any questions or comments that you have through the Q&A feature of Zoom. Members of the public who are here in person, you can raise any questions that you have by raising your hand. If there's time following the committee's discussion, we will field questions from the public. Do we have any volunteers to take the minutes tonight?
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Thank you very much, Captain Lara, I appreciate that. Brian, shall we take attendance?
Sure. Thanks, Anton. Committee members, when I call your name, please indicate your presence. I'll announce if there is a quorum. Paige Judge.
Present.
Thank you. John Keller.
Present.
Thank you. Anton Malner.
Here.
Thank you. Will Perry will not be with us this evening. Ann Seligan.
Here.
Thank you. Sarah Whittington will not be with us this evening. Kat Valero.
Present.
Thank you. With 5 of 7 members present, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. The agenda for tonight's meeting was distributed ahead of time by the board office and is reflected on the screen before you. If there is no objection, we will adopt the agenda. Members of the committee, if you object to adopting the agenda, please raise your hand. All right. Seeing no objections, the agenda for tonight's meeting is adopted. The minutes from the January 29th, 2026 meeting were distributed ahead of time by the board office. If there is no objection, we will adopt the minutes as drafted. Members of the committee, if you object to adopting the minutes, please raise your hand. Seeing no objections, the minutes from the January 29th, 2026 meeting are adopted. They will be soon available on the CB6 website. Okay, some ground rules. In order to conduct an efficient meeting, let's observe a few ground rules. 1, no one may speak until granted the floor. 2, committee members who are here in person, if you have a question about committee business or wish to make a motion, please raise your hand and I will identify you so you can speak. Committee members unable to attend in person, if you have a question about committee business, you may raise your hand through Zoom and I will identify you so you can speak. All committee members, it is extremely important that only one person speak at a time so that members of the public watching at home can understand what is being said by each committee member. Important, the chat function for committee members present via Zoom should not be used for committee business or questions about agenda topics. All such remarks should be made on the record by raising your hand through Zoom. Chat should only be used to alert us to any technical difficulties you are having or to state in writing information like an email address that was already stated aloud on the record during the meeting. Okay, tonight's agenda. If there are no objections, I would like to take items 1 and 2 as one, since they both refer to Barfly at 244 3rd Avenue. Item one is a four-year license for a dining out application for a sidewalk cafe. Item number two is a dining out New York City application for a roadway cafe for the same business at 244 Third Avenue. Is there a representative available?
Michael Kelly.
Oh, Mr. Kelly, you're here
That's Uncle Kelly.
every month I see you.
I have to come by every
Uncle
month.
Kelly.
Okay, a few things. I presume they renewed their food service establishment license because it's on the application, looked like it expired already.
Well, they actually, they filed it on September 15, 2025. So they haven't been inspected yet, and it's still good for, it's good forever until they get inspected. So their health permit will expire eventually 8/31/26.
Okay,
It's a new
Um,
business, yes.
okay, now on the dimensions for the sidewalk seating, I presume all the two tops are 18 inches because otherwise it just doesn't fit the diagram.
Yes, there would be small tables, because they're not gonna be doing full meals outside. So the new one, what happened here is I was doing the original one for the old owner, Aldo, who I did the original sidewalk cafe for many years ago. So then the new people took over, and Aldo's told them about how small the sidewalk is, and if you don't wanted that many tables, they'd have to be smaller. So they would be smaller just to fit the measurements.
Okay, because one of the pictures I saw had the sidewalk seating already set up and it was way out of alignment with what the diagram showed. But I
Yes,
presume this is during the pandemic situation.
yeah, those pictures were taken when I was doing the application for the original owner, who eventually sold it. So I have talked to the new owners about 20th Street and not putting the table by the tree there.
Yeah.
That the tables would be closer together, more towards Third Avenue, like the plan.
Okay, right.
I
And
I got something. And first, I want to apologize to you and everybody else. I'm keeping my eyes closed just because I'm having some light sensitivity. So it's no disrespect intended. I also, in addition to that question about like how small the tables were, there was, and Mike, I have to say, I always feel like when I see your paperwork come in, I know it's gonna be in good shape. But it did say the awnings do extend beyond the perimeter. That box was not checked.
You see that?
Is
How,
that just an oversight or do they in fact extend? I couldn't tell from the picture.
okay, so yeah, so we don't have warnings on Third Avenue, but we do on the side street. So that box, I'll amend that. To check that box.
Okay, yeah.
okay. All right. I have no other questions. Any members of the committee have any questions about this? Comments? I see no hands raised. Okay, do I hear a motion of approval for item one and item two, one for the roadway, I'm sorry, one for the sidewalk cafe and one for the roadway cafe?
Before we do that, should we just ask if anyone from the public has anything?
I thought I did.
Oh, you did? I'm sorry.
No,
My
okay.
apologies.
Any member of the public have any questions? No,
Nope. Okay.
sorry.
Okay.
Motion?
Motion. Second.
Okay.
Who's trying to be doing it?
Do I hear any objection to motion of approval for both item one and item two? Hearing no objection. This resolution is passed unanimously.
Okay, thank you. I'll see you a little later.
Thank you, Mr. Perry.
And next month and the month after.
Thank you.
Okay, we're all set?
Mhm.
Okay, item number 2, dining out New York City application for Sidewalk Cafe, 4-year license for 449 Restaurant Corp. Doing business as Mezzi Mazzi. I hope that's the correct pronunciation at 449 Third Avenue. Is there a representative available?
Yes, good evening, everybody. My name is John Capitanos. I'm the owner.
Okay, I believe you're probably doing this to regularize an enclosed outdoor cafe, which has been there for donkey's number of years.
And it's been there for about 40 years, yes.
Okay, so we're regularizing a legal non-conforming structure.
Correct. I think so. It's been there. I've owned the restaurant from 1990, and the restaurant had the Sidewalk Cafe from 1980 something, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 1982.
Okay,
So I've been there from 1990 myself to present. Right now, the restaurant is closed because we had a problem with Con Edison. If you remember when I applied for the outdoor seating, I had told you that on the street seating, I'm sorry, I had told you that Con Edison had closed the gas line because there was a leak and whatever, and I still have that issue. But I think next week they're going to come because the building is so old and it had so many violations. And in order to get the Con Edison to come, you have to get a permit. In order to get a permit, you have to clear all these violations that they were there from 1970. There was a civil penalty that was issued in 1990. And I remember I had paid it, but they said, we don't have any record, but if you have the check, because in the olden days, we used to write the number of the violation in back of the check. If you can find it, then you don't have to pay another $5,000. But I'm going to find it so many years ago.
7 years,
So-
right?
1930.
No, 7 from,
No.
30 years.
Typically, you keep 7 years
Worth
of
of paperwork.
Oh,
records.
yes. You're right. Yeah. And me like a dummy, I went to the bank and I said, I'm looking for this check number. They laughed at me. They said,
Well,
come
maybe
on, we're
now
never
they
going to find it.
digitized.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have any issues with the application. Any members of the committee, any questions or comments about this?
I mean, not specifically this, but this is similar to Street Taco, which we saw, I think, last month,
Yeah.
where they had the same. Are we gonna be seeing more of this? It's like ones that are regulatory that have been here clearly like
Yeah.
almost
Yeah.
40
In fact, they're
years.
I
regularizing.
wonder if they're like cracking down on them more with,
It's weird,
Yeah.
though.
I
I
don't know.
think they're not
just-
allowing any more enclosed sidewalk cafes,
Right, well,
I
that,
believe.
that makes sense for new development, but ones that have already been there, it seems a little bit,
Yeah,
it's slighted
Yeah,
for
I
businesses.
just saw a
Correct.
police truck towing,
I understand.
okay.
towing
But basically,
that was parked in the back.
if I didn't have that sidewalk cafe, I only have like 16 seats inside.
Mm.
Okay,
But
Wow.
I don't have any issues, I'm just speaking to. This
Yeah,
is-
yeah,
This is the
it's
second
interesting.
month in a row we've had
Yeah.
a situation like this. and
okay. Any comments or questions from community? Any hands raised?
No.
Do I hear a motion of approval?
Motion of approval.
Second,
Thank you for that
Motion of-
context too.
Motion of approval has been
Yes.
raised and seconded. Any member of the committee have any objections? Hearing no objections. This motion is passed unanimously.
good luck.
Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I wish you have a nice weekend as well. And stay safe with all this snow. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Before we continue, and as
Okay.
Brian, as I'm looking at Brian putting, and thank you for doing what you're doing, Brian. Are we not, well, what's the appropriate term? That a bunching liked resolutions to liked resolution? I thought that was a process we were doing 4 months
Well,
ago.
when we had 25 or 30 or 40 of these things,
Sure.
when I went to the full board, then I would ask to bundle.
But,
Bundle.
and we
But
have
I-
talked about doing that here, but honestly, like, these are
No,
kind of
these are
different.
unique. I would just.
But if we had four, and actually, I mean, maybe we want to talk about it, like with the alternation and the new applications. And like, if we have questions about them.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Okay,
That's-
no problem,
Thank
no
you.
problem. Okay, next item on the agenda, new cannabis license application for retail dispensary license for NY Retail 3 doing business as Anita Halani / Herbwell at 831 Third Avenue. Is there a representative available?
Hey, guys. I'll be representing NY Retail 3 for this application.
Okay, before we get any further, I want to make you aware that we have received a number of emails and letters regarding this application, all of them negative and not supportive of the establishment. First thing. Second thing is, while we understand that the regulations have been changed in terms of distances, we still have the American Jewish Congress at 100 feet, Beekman School at 297 feet, Child Mind Institute at 280 feet. And notwithstanding community convenience application, organic relief leaves at 674.9 feet from your location. Now, you have other locations?
Yep, my name is Arish. I represent Herbwell. We're an operator here in New York City. We have 2 operating locations currently. One is not too far from this property at 519 Madison Avenue on the 53rd and Madison. And then another location at 372 East Fordham, which is on Fordham Road in the Bronx. This particular property, it shares the same landlord that we have at 519 Madison, which is Friedland Properties. And they are giving us a second lease for a second location here in the Manhattan region.
Okay, now, is that the same owner, or is this a franchise type situation where somebody's lending their license to any number of people?
It's a separate owner. Herbwell is a operator and brand, which is working with licensees to run retail dispensaries and brand them and operate them. So we're representing the owner of this license, who's Anita Halani, and operating this dispensary on her behalf.
How many other locations are there in New York State and or around the country? How many other licensees?
Are you speaking of in general for cannabis or in relation
No,
to?
I'm talking about for you specifically.
Well,
As I mentioned, Herbwell has 3 current locations, 2 current locations in New
That's
York.
all of them.
In New York, and then we have 1 operating location in Massachusetts as well.
Okay.
Where
Alright.
is Herbwell based?
Herbwell is based in New York. Our headquarters is 519 Madison.
Okay.
Yes.
So just to expand on that, I mean, I'd love to know the names of, any, like, is there anybody that's TPI that's involved? Either directly or indirectly, like management services, obviously, brand licensing as you are familiar with, but partners, lenders, investors.
This is a family-owned company. I represent my mother, who is the license holder on this application. There is no brand licensing deal. There is no TPI additional. She's the 100% owner of this property, or this license and this lease. And as her son and operator of Herbwell, I'm operating this dispensary.
Go ahead.
I had the other question I had is that in the documents that I saw, there was a lease attached, but it was not in fact executed. It was signed by you, but it was not signed, I believe, by the landlord.
That should be an error. It was definitely signed. If that is not the case, I'm happy to share a duly executed lease for you guys. It was submitted to the state, and if that was not in the application, I can share that again. It should be in the store lease section. Right there. Yes, William Friedland has executed this lease duly.
Is that not you guys?
We are NY Retail 3, and then William Friedland is the landlord at.
Oh, okay. I read that backwards.
No problem.
And I'm sorry, again, I can't actually read anything right now, so.
It's there, it's there. I can verify.
All right, are there any more comments or questions from members of the committee?
I think it's just the ongoing concern of
Yeah.
the metrics.
Okay. Do I hear any comments from members of the community? Could you please identify yourself for the record?
Should I be here or should I stand up or? Here's mine.
Yeah.
My name is Mara Holman and I am the head of school for the Beekman School, which is a private high school that has been located at 220 East 50th Street since 1957. Students come to our school because of the flexibility and personalization that our small school can provide. That small size of our school also means that we don't have space for a cafeteria, and so students have an open campus in order to get lunch and snacks. As high school students, they're typically getting themselves to and from school. I've worked at Beekman for 25 years, and while I know our students overall to be kind, thoughtful, and diligent, they are also typical teenagers. Teens engage in risky behaviors and push boundaries because their prefrontal cortex is still developing. They are trying to establish their independence, they experiment, and they also do the things adults in school tell them not to do, simply because they can't understand why until they have their own life experience. There is a reason why New York State regulations prohibit cannabis dispensaries from opening within 500 feet of schools. Proximity provides temptation. Marketing for various substances minors are not supposed to purchase or use is frequently found to be skewed towards the younger audience, whether it is tobacco, alcohol, or cannabis. In addition to the Beekman School, the location is surrounded by other organizations that frequently or exclusively work with children. The Child Mind Institute, Sun Place Synagogue and its Kaplan Nursery School, the Children's Academy, and the New York Center for Living are all located within 1,000 feet of this address, as measured on the New York State Office of Cannabis Management's online map. Also, according to that map, there is an existing cannabis dispensary already within 1,000 feet of that proposed address. Our school is located within 500 feet of the proposed dispensary. If I use Google, it says it is 443 feet to walk from door to door. The location that made Essebagle such a convenient destination on Third Avenue and close to the E, F, M, and 6 trains also makes it a high traffic area for those coming in to our part of the neighborhood. Most of my students will walk along that portion of Third Avenue on their way to school, which means at least twice a day. This location is an inappropriate place for a cannabis dispensary. I respectfully request the community to deny this application.
Thank you. Are there any raised hands from the community virtually? Mr. Rosenfeld, if you'd like to speak.
Yes, good evening. Chair and members of the board. My name is Avinom Rosenfeld. I'm an attorney and a member of this community. I'm here tonight not to relitigate legalization of marijuana. That decision has been made. I'm here as an advocate for the concentration of youth in this specific corridor and the predictable impact this proposed dispensary will have on that population. The proposed location at 3rd Avenue and 51st Street, the former Essebagle site, sits on one of the most youth-dense pedestrian corridors in this area. This is not a side street. It is not an isolated commercial strip. It is a convergence zone. Within immediate walking distance are multiple schools. More importantly, this core functions as a daily intake and dispersal point for minors because of the bus stop hub directly outside the storefront. Interborough routes cycle through that corner all day long. Students wait here. They congregate here. They transfer there. They stand there in groups before and after school. This is a predictable and measurable concentration of minors in a defined geographical point. When we talk about proximity, we should not reduce that to the concept to a straight line measurement between two doors. Proximity in real life is about exposure. It is about foot traffic. It is about where children gather in numbers. 3rd Avenue at 51st Street is a youth concentration corridor. The Marijuana Regulation and Taxation Act was designed to promote an orderly rollout that accounts for community conditions and avoids over-concentration. The Office of Cannabis Management has repeatedly emphasized sensitivity to local context. A site that sits directly at Youth Congregation Hub fails that contextual test, even if it satisfies minimum distance formulas. We must also consider clustering. When cannabis retailers are permitted along major commercial arteries without regard to pedestrian demographics, the normalization effect is magnified, particularly for adolescents who pass these storefronts twice daily. This corner is not just visible to youth, it is embedded in their commute. The former use was a family-oriented daytime establishment. The proposed use fundamentally changes the character of a corner defined by youth, foot traffic, and bus congregation. This board has the authority to evaluate community impact beyond technical compliance. You are empowered to consider how density of minors at a specific node affects appropriateness of location. Approving a dispensary at a documented youth concentration point sends a message that statutory minimums are sufficient even where common sense indicates otherwise. Legalization does not require placement at the epicenter of daily student movement. I respectfully urge this board to recommend denial of this application and to insist that cannabis retail be located away from high-density youth congregation corridors. Thank you for your time and for protecting the children of this community.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your input.
Can I ask both of you, if you haven't already, could you send your testimony to the board office?
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
we
Mr.
have one.
Rosenfeld sent it.
And actually, even if you can email me first, so we have which one.
Okay.
No, it's beyond that, yeah.
Okay. Notwithstanding technical requirements of the new regulations, this committee represents the community as a whole in terms of new businesses, whether it's for liquor licenses, cannabis licenses, street usage.
Hold on. Anybody who has their volume on online, can you please mute yourself? There's some background noise that's distracting. Thank you.
Thank you. And we listen to the community and see what is in the best interest of the community. We've received letters of opposition to this application. And as you have heard, 2 community members have made their statements regarding opposition to this application. In the past, when the distance regulations came up, this committee had said resolution to the New York State legislatures opposing the distance measurements proposed. The fact is that technical compliance does not mean that we would be approving this. Do I hear a motion or do I hear any objection to not approving this application?
Anton, just a question, has OCM approved this already?
We are in the application queue with the
But
OCM.
it hasn't been approved. Okay, thank you. That's the answer to my question. Thank you.
Okay,
And I have to say, just kind of to your point, that it's like, this is right next door to a Panda Express. Like, that's a popular place for the kids to go for lunch, right? So I just, I'm sorry, I just feel like it's right next to a Panda Express and that's gotta be a popular place for the kids to go for lunch,
I
so,
think the gentleman who spoke was very clear about that.
yeah,
And one of the letters also indicated the same thing.
yeah.
And by the way, these letters will go on the record, I presume, Brian? Will they be available?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. All right.
I guess I'm just curious to hear from the applicant themselves, because I did do the Google map search, in an effort to hear all areas, because OCM has been an unhelpful partner. You are less than a mile away from your other retail location on Addison Avenue. You've mentioned that you had a location in both Massachusetts, which is out of state, and within the Bronx, which is in New York State jurisdiction. I'm just curious, what was the impetus, other than the vacancy, for this location, Mr. Halani? I'm just curious.
It's a combination of several items. I think the first and foremost, it is near impossible to find landlords that are willing to lease to retail cannabis. We were fortunate enough to find one landlord on Madison Avenue, and this is the same landlord. So that is starting point. The second is there is no retail dispensing sites on Third Avenue until much farther downtown, and this corridor does not have a retail dispensary. Those are the two main reasons that we chose this location, and I hope that answers your question. If not, I'm happy to answer it up.
Well, thank you very much for that answer.
Just to reiterate, there is a location in the corridor. It's within the proximate distance of the said application right now. So just to be clear.
Yeah, there's one other here.
On Third Avenue is what I meant. There's no other
There's empty
dispensary.
storefront. There's empty storefront on Third Avenue, like 2 blocks down. In fact, directly next door to where Esabagel is moving is empty retail space.
Now, let me answer your question about landlords not being amenable to cannabis locations. We see a lot of cannabis applications here, and let me say that landlords are not turning them down, because the rents they get cannabis locations are substantially more than they would get from, let's say, a restaurant or any other location at a particular site. So I think perhaps you should look a little harder. You might be able to find a location that is amenable to having a cannabis establishment. Do I hear a motion of objection?
Objection.
Second,
Second, okay. Do I hear any objection to this motion from members of the committee? Hearing no objection, the motion is passed unanimously. Sir, thank you for your time. I'm sorry, but we have, as a committee, listened to the community, and we feel this is not in the best interest of the community to place a cannabis shop at this location.
I appreciate your guys' time. Thank you, everyone.
Item number 5.
Anton, do we want to indicate in the text of the resolution why we believe that this location is not suitable?
That's, yeah. I would remark that it is within
like the proximity.
another cannabis retail
Well,
location.
I think we should say something to the effect that notwithstanding the regulations, and they are
Right.
within the new regulations, the fact is that it's not in the best interest of the community.
Should we say why? Should we talk about concentration of kids, or you think it just leave it?
I don't know how much we.
I mean, honestly, I'm not sure it matters, because
No.
clearly they don't really listen to us.
No, I think, as you said, by the way, let's make it simple. keep it straightforward.
Yeah.
And
Kat, what do you
the
think?
record is very clear of that.
I think irrefutable. I think that if we, I hear you, Anton. I know that we've been fighting this fight, but I feel like the more specific we can be, it shows paper trail of their negligence, and not supporting financial like substantial evidence of why this is not.
Well,
Appropriate
I think
behavior.
especially we should say, we heard from, several members of the community and representatives of, schools and institutions. Like, cause it's one sentence, right? And also saying, I don't know,
Well, we could mention the name of the school. I mean, it's the person,
schools,
Schools with
you
no,
know, who appeared here before the committee. I mean, that was compelling to me.
Mr.
Well,
Well, hello. We don't usually do it like this anymore, but given that this is a very particular resolution, maybe we can go back to the old way of doing things where you guys can sleep on it and sort of send the office your whereas clauses, and then we can compile them and have something ready for you guys to look at, and it'll be ready for full board.
yeah.
I like
That's
that.
I
good.
think, yeah, because
I really like that when I can read.
I would like to contribute, so I appreciate that offering, Jesus. I would go for
Kat's
it.
Kat's
I'm in
volunteering
favor.
to
okay, yeah.
pull it together. Elson,
I'm already doing the minutes, I might as well.
Okay.
Get a tip for that.
Thank you.
I know we have pre-drafted many resolutions, but.
But this is,
One we should
it is
spend a little
particular.
time looking at.
Yeah, I
Indeed.
agree.
Okay, thank you
Okay,
very much.
Mercy.
Thanks for the suggestion. Okay, any other comments or questions about this particular
Just
application?
procedurally, do we send those, that context to you, Brian, or how does that work?
We can send to you
Yeah.
and, but
Yeah.
I think we're just for expedience, like you should be seeing them as well. Like we can copy the board office and Anton.
Brian can send you a template that will be blank, and you just it will have the basic information filled in, and then you can fill in the
Yeah.
salient points that were made today.
Whereas, yes.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
It'll be
Okay.
first.
I think we spent enough time on this.
Thank you.
Okay, Item 5, alteration for on-premises liquor license for Grupo Animo LLC doing business Animo at 1004 Second Avenue. Sorry. 1000 Second Avenue and 1006 Second Avenue. Is there a representative available for Animo?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I walked by your shop on the way here tonight, and I see you're still closed, and you're working on the shop next door to expand to. Now, I know, who is represented? Are you the lawyer?
No, I'm the owner.
Owner. Okay, because your lawyer asked for a layover until the next Business Affairs Committee. Unfortunately, SLA regulations are very clear that this is a non-extendable application period, so we have to take a look at it now. Now, you're applying for a wine, beer, and cider license, not a liquor wine, beer, and cider license. Am I correct?
No, it's a full liquor. We have a liquor license. We're just extending it for the
Yeah.
new space.
For the-
Okay, I have no issues there. I've eaten at your location and I find the food very good.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to your expansion.
Thank you so much.
Do I hear any questions from members of the committee? Community? Any raised hands? No. Okay. Do I hear a resolution of no objection to this?
Resolution of no objection.
Second.
Okay. Do I hear any objection to the no objection resolution? Hearing no objections, this resolution is passed unanimously.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay, item 6, new application and temporary retail permit for on-premises liquor license for Nephis LLC doing business as to be determined at 956 First Avenue. Is there a representative available? No representative?
We were to be joined by Salvador Martinez. Mr. Martinez, are you with us on the phone? If so, is your number ending in 9980? I'm going to allow the person with the phone number ending in 9980 to speak. I have to unmute, so.
Do you have anything to chat?
Well, if they're on the phone, I don't think they're gonna leave the chat.
You'd be surprised.
You think?
If he can chat, he can probably unmute.
Sure, but we might be having technical difficulties. That's why I mentioned chat, but it's okay.
Should we go on to the next one then?
I have no issues with this.
No, I don't either.
Okay, Brian, notwithstanding that you can't get in touch with any representative, I've reviewed their paperwork and I have no issues with the application and I would recommend.
This isn't the one that Mike Kelly was for, was it?
No.
No.
Do I hear any comments, questions from members of the committee? Online, any hands raised?
No hands.
Anton and Brian, given that the applicant is not here, I wonder if this one might be better as one of your no comment ones, especially since you guys have no objections, because this resolution makes references to presentations that were made and representations that were made, and obviously none were made because no one was here to do them. So maybe if you guys already have no objection, no real problems with it, the template that we use for the no comment one might be good here.
More appropriate one? I have no issue with that.
Yeah,
Any
works for
members of
me.
the community have any hands raised by Zoom? No. Okay, do I hear a motion of
No
no
comment?
comment?
So moved.
Second.
Second,
And Brian, so you don't have to do it on the spot, you can just like adapt it after the fact.
Yep. Thanks,
do I hear any
Jesus.
objection to this no comment resolution from members of the committee? Seeing none, passed unanimously. Okay. Good, Brian?
Yep.
Okay. Item 7, new application and temporary retail permit for wine, beer, cider license for Oyate LLC doing business as again to be determined at 125 East 39th Street. Is a representative
Wait,
available?
didn't that get laid over?
No, actually, it wasn't.
They
It
initially
was
requested
initially laid over.
to lay over,
Oh,
but
I
then
didn't
they
look at that.
were able to attend.
Okay, I only have one question. Is the application for liquor, wine, beer, cider, or just wine, beer, cider?
It is just a restaurant wine application. Good evening, everyone. Eleanor Schotten from Pazetsky and Bookman, and I do have the owner and chef Hassan Lee on the line. And I am happy to answer any questions that you have if there are any others.
Okay, so we're only talking about wine, beer, cider here, not a liquor license.
Was this the one where they said they might go up to a liquor?
No,
full-
there's, so I think you're thinking of Brooklyn DT, which.
Oh, yeah.
They applied for a liquor license, but.
And then they
There's
were
a
told,
course.
and they were told to go down, okay.
Yeah.
But they might convert it if they get the approval. Got it.
Right.
All right, do I hear any comments from members of the committee about this license application?
No one from the committee?
Members of the community?
No.
No. All right. Do I hear a motion of no objection?
Motion with no objection.
Second?
Second.
All right. Is there any objection from any member of the committee to this? Resolution? Seeing none, motion is passed unanimously. Thank you very much and good luck.
All right, thank you very much. Have a great rest of your evening.
Okay, number 8. New application temporary retail permit for on-premises liquor license for Perrito Restaurant Corp. Doing business as Tramway Restaurant at 1079 First Avenue. Is there a representative available?
Michael Kelly?
Oh, Mr. Kelly, you said you'd be back.
Okay.
The owners are affiliated with Ritz Diner and the now closed George Restaurant, as I recall.
Yes, he also had a license here a few years ago under the same corporation.
Yeah.
Doing business as Under the Bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that place was good, yeah.
He let that go because he was concentrating on his other restaurants and he was concentrating on his mother, who was very old and ill at the time. So he let that go and now he's back. He seems to like the spot.
Yeah.
Um,
Go ahead.
I had well, one question was about the space, because I was like, isn't that where Under the Bridge was? And then the application was so thorough. But I also was kind of curious, and this is just sort of an aside, that wasn't there a tramway, like, where there's construction now, right like where
Yeah.
the bridge is empty? Is there any affiliation with that, or?
Well, right now there's a Tramway Diner at the same location.
Oh, I thought there was all like that, there was demolition on that
It was-
corner.
Yeah, he's cleaning the place out.
Oh, okay. But my substantial question was, since it's gonna be a 24-hour place, and like theoretically, you could have a 4 AM serving liquor till 4 AM, and I'm kind of curious why it's at 2 AM in the application.
Well, what he figured is if people are getting off work late, that they come in for a drink. And he doesn't want people drinking till 4 AM there. Because it's a diner, it's mainly food focused.
Right.
He
Right.
listens to my wife. She says nothing happens good after 2 AM.
Thank you.
Okay, I just have to ask you, this is off the record so Perrito, who named it Perrito? You know what that means in Spanish?
He's Greek. So
Oh,
I don't know what it means in Spanish.
little dog.
Oh, I thought that's funny. Was that, I thought this was with Nana.
Anyway,
Yeah.
do I hear any more comments from members of the committee? Members of the community, any raised hands?
No.
Okay, do I hear a resolution of no objection?
So moved.
Resolution of no objection.
Second.
Okay,
They're getting quick now.
I know, yeah. they went out.
any objection from members of the committee to this no objection resolution? Hearing none, this resolution is passed unanimously. Thank you very much, Mr. Flynn.
Thank you, everyone. See you next month.
We'll see you next month, right?
I'm originally from Jersey, so these diners having 24 hours, it's like great.
Okay,
I think Morningstar is 24 hours.
There's not as many.
well,
Yeah.
I've been there, they are 24
Yeah,
hours,
I think so.
2 blocks where I live.
Yeah.
Anyway, new application, temporary retail permit for wine, beer and cider license for Brooklyn DT
Yeah.
LLC. Doing business as Tipsy Turtle of 1003 Second Avenue. I'd like to review this. The reason I'm doing that is that we approved the liquor, wine, beer and cider application to them some months ago. And the SLA, because there is a house of worship within 200 feet, turned it down. So they're now requesting a grandfather exception. Now, we've run into this once before, where there was a house of worship within 200 feet of a established in serving liquor.
Yeah,
They had taken over the restaurant and they actually had to go to their state legislatures to have a law written
yeah,
New law
Gonzalez
written.
did it, right?
to approve
Yeah,
the liquor license. The SLA did not
Hmm.
approve the situation. So I think while they are going through the grandfather exception situation, I think they probably will have to end up going to their state legislatures to have a specific law written in their favor.
I have to say, I had some other issues.
Okay,
With the application. One was, and these are sort of questions on the from the questionnaire, is, it says there are no details as to the type of live music. And there were a couple of questions, that's on the 30-day notice, actually. And I'm not sure where this is.
that's a section right there.
Yeah, and again, I still can't.
Says live music.
Yeah, but doesn't there another one that says, if so, like, if live, what type?
It says give details.
Yes, give
Such as
details.
rock bands, acoustic jazz,
And it's
etc.
empty. Yeah.
And it is empty.
Yeah.
What kind of music are you talking about?
If you recall, I asked if they were required to attend.
I'm sorry. I took-
Oh, this one's
Yeah.
right.
Red said.
I said
he
no,
didn't think
because
so.
that was before I actually reviewed it. Because one of the other things was, on it says, has anyone had a license revoked? And it says yes. And like, I don't think I have ever seen that before.
Yes, we have.
Oh.
Another city one, yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
So I just,
Let me see.
and this is redemption. This is like a,
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
been there
it's like a
for-
bad penny spot.
How many years has Redemption been there?
And also, are there no residents above that? Doesn't that building have?
No, it's a commercial building. We went
Oh.
through this before when we
Yeah.
went through their sidewalk seating.
Yeah. it's
And
not
actually,
a-
their original liquor application going back probably about a year now.
Yeah, I vaguely remember
Yeah.
that. There's been a lot of
And I used
applications
to go by
between
there
now and then.
regularly, and it's more a sports bar
Yeah,
than anything else.
all right,
All
well,
right, that's all. I mean, let's see how their request to the state liquor authority ends up.
Right.
Whether they come back to us.
right. Does that mean we should do no comment?
No, we're never, but
Just don't do anything?
no funny for
All
that.
right.
I just wanted to bring it to the attention.
Yeah.
Okay, item number 10, new application temporary retail permit for on-premises liquor license for 216 East LLC. Doing business as TBD at 216 East 49th Street. We've got a lot of TBDs today.
This was late.
Brian, did they ever
This one.
send the CB6 questionnaire?
This one was late.
No, I didn't see it.
Good. I had that and I was like, really, I thought it was me. I was like, oh no.
Okay,
I did all this.
we
at, like,
were
5:30
notified
this
that
morning.
they would like to lay this over until our next meeting because it's still going through the tenant improvements.
Yeah.
I have no issue with that. We could take a look at this and we'll have a questionnaire in our hands at that time. Item 11, new application temporary retail permit for an on-premises liquor license for First Hospitality Group doing business again as TBD. With a very popular name at 905 First Avenue. This is in the old Ethos restaurant
Yeah.
location. Is there a representative available?
Yes, hi, everybody. My name's Matthew Leone. I'm representing First Hospitality Group, and the owner and operator is Marcus Andrews, and he's also here tonight.
Okay, I just have one question. On your SLA application, you indicate you have a licensed outdoor space. Now, I know the Ethos restaurant had outdoor space, but in order for you to get a licensed outdoor space, you have to make a separate application to the SLA. So
Yes.
I believe your licensed outdoor place should have been none at this point in time. And your answer on the CB6 questionnaire would say, we will be applying for licensed outdoor space.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. That's that is the intention is to apply and get the outdoor permit for the sidewalk cafe.
Okay,
And I also noticed, I think it's on the 30-day notice that it's dated 2020.
I missed that.
Yeah,
Uh,
they were, probably,
That was a typo.
yeah.
Yeah, but I
2020.
mean, it is a legal document, so it's kind of,
Well,
I mean, I don't really have, it's kind of obviously a typo, but
the SLA accepts
The
it.
date that it was sent is.
just saying.
2026.
I mean, that's something we'd be happy to amend it if you want another copy. We'll redo.
Yeah.
That's not a problem.
Okay. All right, I have any more comments or questions, members of the committee? Members of the public, any hands raised? No. What kind of restaurant are you opening up?
Marcus, you want to answer?
Yeah, sure. It's a Mediterranean seafood restaurant, very much similar concept to Ethos, with a few modifications to make it more Mediterranean and diverse.
Okay. Now, again, it's almost off the record, but diagonally across the street on the east, there seems to be another Mediterranean restaurant on that corner.
Is that a seafood? I'm not familiar with that space.
All right.
This is gonna be seafood driven anyway. It's mostly seafood.
Okay. All right, I noticed the menu says L on it. Is that what your name of the restaurant going to be?
Debating few names. I might still working on the name. We want it to
Okay.
be more Mediterranean and diverse.
All right, I have no other questions. Members of the committee?
The menu looks great.
Any?
Hopefully we'll be as successful as the previous restaurant that was there. I used to actually come to that restaurant myself.
Okay, do I see any hands raised in the community? No. Okay. Do I hear a resolution of no objection?
No objection.
Second. All right. Is there any member of the committee objecting to this no objection? Hearing no objection to no objection, this resolution is passed unanimously. Sir, thank you very much. When do you plan to open?
As soon as I get the license, everything is in the pipeline.
Okay, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, I appreciate
So
it.
a few months at least. All right, thank you all very much. I hope to see you next month also. Hope to get here as much as Mr. Kelly does.
Good luck.
Take care. Good night. Thank you.
Okay, item 12. We'll have a little discussion about what's the name? Intro 0655 of 2026, expanding access to roadway and sidewalk cafes. I think we've all seen the newspaper reports and other emails and stuff on this. It's basically this intro 655 would expand sidewalk cafe and roadway cafe to be open 365 days a year. Now, I don't have any issue if somebody wants to sit out on a sidewalk in 12-degree weather taking coffee. However, I do have issues with roadways during the winter months, and I'd like to hear comments from the committee on this, if any.
Well, given the last 6 weeks we've had, I mean, I understand. I started out reading this and thinking, no, I have a problem. Like, there are 3 different elements to this, really. there's the Roadway Cafe, there's the grocery store, and there's the, presumably streamlined,
Application process.
application, which when I read through, I did not see how it was streamlined precisely. But on the Roadway Cafe, making that 12 months, I understand why, because it is expensive to pick it up and put it
Put it up
down
and take it down.
and store it someplace. And so I sympathize with it, but I also feel like it's fairly valuable real estate.
Yeah.
And if it's not used,
That's the point.
and I mean, again, after the last 6 weeks, like, right? It's like,
Yeah,
I know.
and I would suggest that once the weather gets cold, and unfortunately it has been that way the last few weeks, nobody's gonna sit on a roadway cafe.
But honestly, I don't wanna sit in a road, like on Third Avenue in May, so I'm maybe not the right person to really weigh in on this.
I have very strong contention on roadways in general. It was a reaction to a very
To COVID,
specific
yeah.
time of our history as a city, as a district. And that was supplemental to indoors where they could not operate.
Right.
And I understand that it's been helpful for businesses. I want to celebrate their wins, but we still do have the sidewalk cafes. We're now even seeing repeat businesses that are having to apply through the sidewalk cafe
Right.
facility that have had permanent structure. So like the roadway, also I'm thinking of our transportation committee counterparts of like bike lanes and, thinking of other holistic, needs of the community, and they would be in direct conflict with something like 365 roadways and the expense. I don't want to put that on the businesses, but I feel really strongly, and we were talking about the grocery store thing. I'm like, that just is a can of worms. I feel that what are the schematics that we're gonna have to endure with grocery stores?
But I'm not sure that's more, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, I'm just saying like comparable to the space of the business. I'm wondering if we're gonna have some folks that, it's not the same, it's not a one-to-one, but some of the issues that have been raised on like the cannabis side of things being in jurisdictions, I'm wondering if that just will open a can of worms of, oh, well, we're just gonna put like a whole trailer outside and like.
Well, but it's sidewalks, so it's still gonna have,
Sidewalks I don't really have, I mean.
it's not a lot of
You just,
space.
some
I mean, I'm
metal
just kind of
tables and
like,
chairs and.
right, that's what I'm kind of thinking about, like at my local grocery store. Like they all sell prepared food, and I think the idea is, and since we don't have a park to go
Sure.
sit in.
Sure.
Somebody wants to sit outside, I feel like. Why is it different than a sidewalk cafe?
If it's, I think I'm a little bit nervous, because now we're setting the precedent as a state, as a city, that 4 years we're giving licenses to sidewalk cafes. We're not Europe. We don't have the infrastructure and the safety that's interwoven into that, what that entails. So I feel like the more that we add, the more strategic we're gonna have to be in public safety, and that it leads to other things we have to be more cognizant of.
There was a new supermarket open on First Avenue and 45th Street.
No, second. Hermina's
Hermina's.
and 44th.
And I noticed
43rd.
that they have set up sidewalk seating.
They don't anymore.
Oh, they don't?
They haven't for months.
Oh.
They have, kind of boxes out there that are like storage boxes,
Oh,
but I
okay.
believe they are in the perimeter of the property line.
Oh, so.
Like they have
the only
fruit out
information
there.
I have to get is Department of Health.
Right.
DOT is not involved,
Right.
okay.
I believe.
But that's actually another good point of why I'm not a big fan of the grocery store, and it's not because I'm anti-grocery stores at all, but it's like, I'll use Westmart or, what's another?
Which
equivalent?
is actually this owner of
Right.
this place.
But some of them have the produce stands trickling out
Yeah,
on their property. So if you think about adding sidewalk cafes, I'm also a serial pedestrian. I'm also thinking about, well, what does that entail? That, especially when it's busier times of the year where we're not isolated inside, like, and it's winter weather, like, I don't know. It just leaves me nervous.
Okay, do I hear consensus of the committee that we're not in favor of roadway cafes being on the street 12 months a year?
Yeah,
But
Yes,
during the
I feel that way.
John, yes?
Yeah, I feel that way. That's, that part I don't get. I understand Kat's making good points about the restaurant, the sidewalk and everything, but the roadway I'm just, yeah, I agree. We should.
Okay, yeah, in terms of groceries, my parents owned a grocery store, so
Yeah.
in the 50s. Anyway, I can see that in certain areas of the district where you have a grocery, supermarket, and these types of establishments very close to each other, it's gonna be.
But I mean,
This is not Paris. We don't have.
no, but I mean, they still have to have the 8-foot clearance,
Well,
which now they're saying everything, that's one of the other elements in there
That's fine.
that I
No,
have.
no, you can't have 8-foot clearance on a.
That's what,
car.
that's part of,
That's
that's
ridiculous.
that's part of the legislation.
Yeah. Not on, I forgot.
On
the
Second Avenue, if it's a regional or,
Regional or, I forgot the other.
you know, what the widest one is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Global
global.
There you go. Yeah.
Global, regional and
neighborhood.
neighborhood, yeah.
And there's connector in there somewhere.
Anyway, yeah, if it's a regional, yeah, at least for the DOT, it's gotta be 12 feet.
Yeah. And and that's again why, so would we wanna do a resolution? And did anybody understand about this streamlining, how
No.
it was streamlining?
It just sounded like it expedites our ability, like we have to be more expeditious in approving
So
applications.
I feel like this is kind of about the way I did about the cannabis.
Okay, do we want to consider the resolution of objection to the proposed?
Yeah, and I noticed that none of our electeds were signed on as
Sponsoring the bill.
sponsors.
Yeah.
So it might be good for them to hear that we are not in support
Yeah.
of these changes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who are the sponsors on this? I see you have these.
She,
Councilmember Ressler,
I thought she was from,
Jay Orsay, Johanna Hanif, Jakar Krishnan, Crystal Hudson, Justin Sanchez, Cara Lewis. And it says in conjunction with Brooklyn Borough President and the Manhattan Borough President.
Okay, so none of our.
Except
Well,
Brad, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this.
Is it,
It
was
is-
this
it is
from
in
last
conjunction.
year?
I mean,
It's
this
in-
is the current version. I'm not sure if they're referring to the current borough
Current borough
presidents or
president, I wondered
previous.
that as
Yeah.
well, yeah.
well, but I also am noticing right away that it's, because I was like, I noticed these names from Brooklyn.
Right,
It says Brooklyn and Manhattan.
right,
So that's the other thing. I think this could work better for Brooklyn in certain respects, probably in their districts, but to combine them both, I think is problematic.
Yeah. But
It's not a
Hatfield is
one-to-one.
different. It's a different island.
it is.
All right, I don't want to draft a resolution now, but, Brian,
We probably don't really have a template.
we don't have a
It is.
template for this. Is it possible for you to draft something? That, or I should say this, we should take a vote on whether we want to make
Yeah,
a
'cause I don't have
resolution.
other-
Objection to this particular, proposed law, expanding access to roadway and sidewalk cafes. That, we object to the 8 feet. It should be the same as DOT regulations regarding the current regulations. The two having 12-month roadway cafes certainly is not in the best interest of the community, ours at least. And what else?
I'll draft it.
Good.
I won't.
All right.
I'll let you off the hook.
I can help.
And Brian, you can just.
Oh, but do we have to get a vote from the?
Yeah, I don't know if any
Yeah, I
other
can send you both the
members.
template.
Yeah.
Okay, do I have any objections from members of the committee to this proposed draft of a objection to the expanding access to roadway and sidewalk cafe regulation? Hearing none. And thank you very much.
You're
Look
welcome.
forward to. All right, on the agenda, we don't have any more topics to discuss, it's just chair's report. And I want to go through that quickly because I don't want to go much farther than 9 o'clock. There's a bulk draft manual, which Brian will be circulating to members of the committee. I'd like you all to take a look at this and make your comments. This will be a template which other committees may be using for new members who join those particular committees. I don't expect this by next month, but this is larger. In April, I'd like to address this, get everything together and submit it to the full board, or at least the executive committee to have a look at and go from there. Okay. Second item, I read the law on the new cannabis proximity regulations. And I don't know who drafted these, but we had already sent a resolution saying we objected to this. The fact is, the reinterpretation of 1,000 feet on the, or 500 feet or 200 feet on the same street does not make sense for New York City. It never has, and we objected to this. Unfortunately, it's gone into law already. Governor Hochul has signed this, but as I said earlier, notwithstanding the new regulations, this is not in the best interest of the community, and every time we find this situation in our district, I think we probably will have an issue and will reject or not approve or have no objection to a cannabis establishment that, although it fits the technical regulations, does not fit the best interests of the community. And I don't believe we need a resolution, but I think we've got to get it out there. And Jesus, are you still online?
Do I hear my name taken in vain?
Wake up. Anyway, no. Is this something that's been addressed in the district managers meeting?
From time to time, it's mentioned, but it never hurts to. I don't remember the resolution you guys passed before, but it never hurts to maybe take another look at it, dust it off, maybe see if we can improve upon it. Clearly articulating our thoughts on these things never hurts, because then it allows us to better. It essentially provides talking points for whenever we have to advocate for something.
Right. Okay, because I think we should try to take a look at New York City bids. I think that the Manhattan bids are most affected by this situation, although I don't know about Brooklyn, Queens.
Yeah.
Or Staten Island for that matter, but still, I think that perhaps this regulation was too much influenced by upstate legislators.
Yeah.
Who don't understand that you could put a cannabis shop on an avenue and around the corner, literally 100 feet away or less.
Yeah.
There could be a school, house of worship, or whatever. Okay. I volunteered to be a liaison with the East Midtown bid. Talk about business in the district. There are other bids that overlap our district, and if anybody would like to be a liaison to the other bids, think about it.
Grand Central? That
Could be
be-
Grand Central, which is a large part. And
But
even,
they overlap with CB5 as well, right?
yes,
Yeah.
and so does the Union Square bid. Overlaps mostly on Community Board 5, but also Community Board 6. And just as a point of information, I served on the 14th Street bid for about 15 years on the board. So I'm familiar with them, but they don't overlap for me as much as the East Midtown
Yeah.
did. Yeah. So anyway, just a thought thrown out, and any volunteers, go to Jesus, let's get the contacts together so we can do that. And you had sent me an email about small business rent control.
Yeah, I actually know not much more than, I really only know what was in that article, which was a Gothamist article, I think, about some state legislation to do that. If we want to forward that, I've been concerned, as I think a lot of us on the committee are, about closed storefronts and what to do to get them populated. The Small Business Job Survival Act, which seems to sort of ebb and wane. I think it's been around, like, they've been trying it since like the 70s.
Yeah.
So, this was just another take on it that I thought, if we're gonna try and think about some creative things.
Yeah. Being a free market person, I'm against rent control. I think it just disturbs the market. Although I do see there are a lot of empty storefronts in our district. And I'll be anxious to speak to members of the East Midtown bid, find out what their take is on this as well.
I mean, I'd be interested to hear that too, but you have to realize that, like, nobody's speaking for the empty storefronts, right?
Well, it was in a different committee, if memory serves, it might have been land use, I'm not sure, and not the most recent, because they just had a meeting. There was a discussion about this very thing, but more on the owner side,
For
that it's
sure.
a tax deductibility.
Right, totally. No,
And it's
I'm-
actually more.
It's more profitable.
Yeah,
And
for them to keep
also
it vacant.
things
which
like,
is-
I mean, there's a Dwayne Reed near me that there's a lot of reasons. I could talk about this for a long time. There's a Dwayne Reed near me that has been closed, or ex-Dwayne Reed that has been closed since before COVID. And it's a big storefront, and I was talking to somebody about this years ago, and they said, well, when it's a chain retailer like that, basically a big box store, it's still cheaper, they'll still be paying the rent. And they don't care if that space is empty or not. The landlord doesn't care because he's still getting the rent. He doesn't have to deal with any pesky tenants.
I'm not
So-
too worried about the chains. I'm worried about
No,
the
no, no.
small
But,
15-foot.
so that's
mom and
why,
pop.
and in fact, CBA, they don't have a business affairs committee, they have a small business committee, that's the
Oh.
name of it. Which I thought was striking when I went to it, yeah, but, I had sent around my notes from the
Yeah.
meeting I went to there, and so it kind of seems like it's in the same theme, so, and my mentioning the Dwayne Reed, it's really just, this is another dynamic that plays into the same thing. And the other thing is that, it can be profitable both for tax reasons, but it's in new developments, which is not so much an issue in our community, in our district, but that the investors funding the development they want the tenants, they will require that the tenants be, big businesses.
Right.
They don't wanna sell, they don't wanna rent to like some, little shoemaker.
Right. Okay,
Despite the fact that we need those.
anyway,
So that's my 2 cents.
Ryan, could you send that link to all members of the committee, or did you already do that?
You're referring to the article? Yeah. Sure, I can send it.
All right, just,
Gothamus is the best.
okay, district needs and budget requests. Since we do meet in the summer, we don't have to worry about doing this right away, but it has to be done. And I'd like everybody to think about it and,
What do
Are
we
you
have?
talking about the district needs or the budget?
but, budget requests.
Like, what do we, like, I think about, it's not like parks where we have the capital requests.
Well, there aren't any budget requests from this
No.
committee.
Yeah,
Okay, well, that takes care of that.
That doesn't
I mean,
mean-
maybe there
that
should
doesn't
be.
mean that
Right,
you
I was
can't-
just gonna say
Yeah.
there aren't currently,
All
but
right, let's think about it.
Think about it. I mean, maybe it has something to do with
Yeah.
this.
All right, do I hear any other business before the committee?
Anton, you said that you wanted to raise in old and new business that meeting that regarding dining out that Councilmember Epstein held with some of the district managers.
Did I? Okay.
I can recap if you don't mind.
Sure, go ahead.
Earlier this month, Councilmember Epstein's office convened the district managers of community boards 2, 3, 5, and 6 to learn more about how our boards handle dining out applications, specifically sidewalk cafes, but more broadly, all dining out. He's looking into learning how we do these things and also with an eye towards perhaps proposing legislative changes so that perhaps the dining out process works better for the boards. So he wanted boards to really think about if there are changes that if you had a magic pen that could change the dining out NYC law, what would you do? So it might be a good thing to start thinking about that, maybe start putting some thoughts together as far in a resolution, so to give him ideas for what to pursue. If there was talk of stipulations, stipulations are something that exist within the SLA and only within the SLA. So we should be careful not to use that word within the context of dining out because they do not exist within the context of dining out, at least not that I've ever seen. But he asked if we could have stipulations within dining out, what kind might we want? What standardized stipulations might be good to have access to? So all those questions came up. It was more a brainstorming session, but if you want my 2 cents, the thing that seems to be the most obvious thing to ask for is an extension of the review timeline.
Yeah.
I initially said, 45 days, but I actually did an analysis of the meeting dates because for those of you who may be aware, most of the time when a dining out application gets to the board, there's enough time to hear it at the very next bulk meeting and then have it be heard at the very next full board meeting. Unlike with OCM or SLA applications, there really is no time to waste. As soon as we get it, even if it's a few days before the bulk meeting, it must be heard at the very next meeting, or else we will not have the time to respond. But in the cases where a bulk meeting has just happened, for example, and then an application comes after that, if the review period is only 30 days, there's no time for it to wait 4 weeks until the next bulk, and then an additional week and a half, 2 weeks until the next full board after that. So we run out of time, essentially.
Yeah.
I did an analysis of all the meeting dates, the bulk meeting dates, because we know them for 2025. I did an analysis of all the dates we would normally get applications because they usually come on Mondays. And I did an analysis of all our full board dates. And I came up with a proposal that we should ask for, if the committee is inclined, we should ask for a standard 60-day minimum review period for all dining out applications. Plus, similar to what happens with ULURP applications that come in the summer, an additional 75-day extension of the review period for applications that come between May 15th and August 1st.
So they
If those two things had been in place, we would not have missed a single deadline in 2025.
Because they can't get to the full board
Right.
if they come into summer.
Because yeah, if they come, for example, let's say you have your full board, your bulk meeting in May, and then the next day or the day or the Monday after that, early June, you get an application. Well, then that means you're not going to hear it. You may have a bulk meeting in late June, but you're not going to have a full board until September.
Right,
So,
right.
Okay,
but things like that. That's a very practical, operational thing.
Yeah.
I think worth throwing in a resolution if ultimately the committee writes one.
okay. All right. Thank you. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Oh,
You don't need a second. I'll take it.
Seeing no further business, the meeting is adjourned at 8:04 p.m.
Thank you all.
Thank you.